And we're going to do some substitution. If we could please put our phones away and take off our headsets for the next 15 minutes. This is a really short class. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's make it a good day. So we have to do a substitution. So here, x equals 8, and we're substituting it in the equation where there is an x. So what that gives us is y equals, I'm just going to rewrite the question. And we're putting our 8 right here. Now, I will tell you that the ASVAB is no calculator. So if you are indeed planning to go to the military and you need to take the ASVAB, you should practice doing these questions without a calculator, just so you know. So take a couple of minutes and pick what choice you would pick, A, B, C, or D. And what did you all get? Who got A? All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to work it out using order of operations. So first we would do our parentheses, which would be 64 divided by 4 minus 2. 64 divided by 4 is 16. And 16 minus 2 is actually 14. So I agree with that answer. I also agree that it's A. For our second one, we're substituting in a 4, and we have to put that 4 in both places. So keeping in mind that what we have here is our exponent laws that we learned, which is if you have the same base, you would subtract. So if I subtract the exponents, 3 minus 1 gives you a 2. And what is 4 squared? 16. So what answer would you choose? D. Good. All right, so like I stated earlier, this is the end of the road. We have made it. We have one more chapter and we are done. So this blue packet is your last note packet for Integrated Math 3. So because of the length of this chapter, we have separated it into 2 tests. So part 1, this is on the front page of your blue packet. Our first test will be Wednesday, and that would be April 23rd. And then our second test will be on Friday, May 9th. After that, we're going to start getting ready for our final, and we'll talk about that later. So make sure you put your name on there, period 3. All right. So we're only working through page 2 today, which is why I said we'll be finished kind of early, which should give you a chance to finish up your homework and start homework 1. So when it says evaluate, that means you are going to substitute. That's what that means. That's what the word evaluate means. It means you are substituting. And you're substituting whatever number is in the parentheses. So for part A, I have the function f of x equals 3x plus 4. And it wants me to substitute in -2. You're going to put that -2 right there. So what we have is 3 times -2 plus 4. Go ahead and see what you get. You should get -2. Who got -2 for the first one? All right, for question B, I have a different function. It's now 3x squared plus 4. So 3x squared plus 4. And now the number is a 3. And we're going to put that here. So go ahead and put our 3 in right there. So take 3 times 3 squared plus 4. All right, who has an answer for question B? 31. Who got 31? All right, good. And then for question C, our function is 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. Notice that we have 2 places where we have to do our substitution. So that would be 3, and then I'm just going to write my function out. And now I'm substituting in a positive 2. Go ahead and see what you get. All right, Andre got 21. Anyone else get 21? All right, good. So now let's look at our second row. In our second row, we have one function, but 3 different numbers that we're evaluating it for. So using this equation, we're going to start by putting in a 0, but we have to substitute it in 3 places. Every single last one of those places we need to replace with a 0. So that would be 0 squared plus 3 times 0 plus 2 divided by 0 plus 1. Sam, you get an answer? What'd you get? 2? Anybody else get 2? All right, I agree with that. Now let's look at our second one. This time we're putting in a 2. So if I substitute in 2, that would be 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 1. What'd you get, Alex? 4? Anybody else get 4? All right, last one. For this function, now we're substituting in a -1. So we have -1 squared. Make sure you put that negative in parentheses. You have to put the negative in parentheses. Plus 3 times -1 plus 2. That's divided by -1 plus 1. Is your calculator giving you an answer? me let everybody try it first. All right, you should get an error in your calculator. And the reason why is because your denominator is 0. -1 plus 1 is 0. It is impossible to divide by 0. You cannot divide any number by 0. It is mathematically impossible. So what that means is we're going to say D and E. And what D and E represents in math is does not exist. So if you get an error, the answer is does not exist. Now we have graphed a couple of functions in the past that have asymptotes. We did the exponentials. They had a horizontal asymptote. We did verticals. We did logarithms, and they had vertical asymptotes. This function, and we're not going to graph until we get to part B, has 2. So what this means is that there is a vertical. The reason why there is an error is because we have a vertical asymptote at x equals -1. So that means we would draw in a dashed line on our graph at -1. That's why it's D and E. D and E means we have an asymptote. All right, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do the last row. Go ahead, take a few minutes and work on that last row. One function, we have a different function, 3 different inputs. So go ahead and do that. All right, so for the first one, who got -5/3? Did anybody write that as a fraction? As a decimal? Okay, so if you did it as a decimal, it would be about -2.7. -2.6 repeat. All right, what about the second one? What did we all get? Anybody else get -17? And then what about the last one? What did you get? D and E. Because we have 3 minus 3, which is 0. If you have a 0 in your denominator, it does not matter what the numerator is. It does not exist. So that means that we have, before you all pack up, that tells us that we have a vertical asymptote. And that's at x equals 3. All right, so we're just barely getting started in chapter 8. We're going to end there. For the rest of the class period, there's 2 things that we need to work on. A lot of people turned it in yesterday in this class, but that factoring review sheet that we started yesterday, if you have not finished that, please finish that and get that turned in today. Right now in homework 1, the only questions we can do are numbers 1, 2, and 3. And if you get the factoring done and numbers 1, 2, and 3 done in your homework, you are up to date.